All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let's go. Buffs 4-2, baby. Officially hit that over on Vegas, making a fool out of them for just not paying attention, man. Not paying attention to this team. Uh, Big shout out to James. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments. Everybody, get in here, hit that like. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Of course, this team, man, wants to make things. You crack me up. I'll unsubscribe after this. This is my male ego. Well, hey, you are free to do whatever you want to do. I just appreciate having dialogue, all this stuff. So you might be asking, where's Big Dog? I'm Dave. Big Dog had to go. So I'm starting this other stream. But hey, let's get into the post game again. Didn't come on the watch along with Big Dog today because just not feeling 100%. Wanted to rest a little bit. And man, oh man, I wish I'd gotten on, but I'm glad I have some energy. Started feeling a little bit better in the second half, and man, just a great entertaining game from the Buffs, showing the resilience. And I'll get to your comments here in just a little bit. If you want to ensure your comment or question is read, be sure send me a super chat. I'll be able to see it. But nonetheless, your likes, comments, all that's greatly appreciated. Okay, so I'm going to start with the good. Then I'll get to the ugly, and I'll start with the players that I want to shout out. First off, Alejandro Mata. This man does not miss. And man, ice in his veins, even after getting iced. What does he do? Nails a 43-yarder to win it. And then, he nailed a 42-yarder prior. So he broke his career long twice tonight, if I remember correctly. Hats off to him. And man, that last field goal he kicked, oh my God. That had some leg to it. And again, to me, it doesn't matter who's kicking field goals. I just want them to go in. Mata, you're my guy. You're my guy. Okay. Javon Antonio. We've been wondering, where is this guy? When's he going to have his moment? Does he move to tight end? Man, he was so huge for us. Scores that touchdown that, honestly kind of should have been the one to put it away. But big time catch on that final drive, maybe a 50-yard catch or so to get us in field goal range. It was, a great performance, clutch performance from him, especially with not playing a ton. For him to come in and have those moments, I love to see it. Anthony Hankerson, only 10 carries, but 58 yards, 5.8 average. Wish we could have got the run game going a little bit more, but he did great. He also had 23 yards receiving. He was fantastic. He's our best back right now. He needs to be the guy moving forward, no doubt. And, how could I forget about Shedeur Sanders? 1 TD, passing, 1 TD, rushing, 239 yards passing, 26 of 42, no turnovers. And Arizona State, no turnovers either. They have a -12 when it comes to the turnover differential coming into this game. They play clean football, man. They play clean football. Bourguet did a great job of taking care of the football. But man, we did not turn the ball over today, and that was great. Shout out as well to Carter Stoutmeyer blocking a field goal. Shout out to Xavier Weaver on a big time punt return to help us score points. Who else on defense do I want to give a shout out to? Levante Bentley filling in. Jawan Mitchell, 11 tackles. Second on the team in tackles was Roderick Ward. And then Omari Cooper, man, played really well this game. 2 pass deflections, 7 tackles. Miles Slusher got into the game for the first time in a few weeks, 6 tackles. Bishop Thomas, a big-time hit at the end of the game. Love to see that. Brendan Gant had some great plays as well. And then let's give a shout-out to our defensive line, man, with these sacks. Levante Bentley with a sack. Arden Walker with a sack. Omari McNeil with a big sack near the end of the game. Derek McClendon with a solid sack. So You love to see us getting in the backfield. You know, lastly, before I get to your comments, I'm done predicting this team to play a solid, complete 4 quarters until I see it. I think so, which will be funny because when I don't predict it this coming Friday against Stanford, you know they're just gonna play lights out, right? That's just how it works. But man, special teams, man. I've been saying this whole time. Y'all making me want to smoke cigarettes again. I can't let that happen. I cannot go and bust out the Newports. But it's like every time something's, special teams is involved, it's either going to be really good or really bad. And usually it's mostly bad. But good Lord, how many did we kick out of bounds on the kickoff? 2. That needs to change. Some bad punts, some personal fouls, on the punts and kickoffs. Good Lord. But at least our special teams units made some positive plays, but that's got to get cleaned up. It's got to get cleaned up. Our defense played so well in the second half. The defensive line, it just looked like Arizona State ran out of gas or something on their end, but we were bullying them in the second half. Coach Mo, the conditioning really paid off, but we totally changed our whole philosophy in Arizona State's last drive where they scored. We were going into this prevent stuff. We weren't bringing, extra pressure. Like, we just made that drive so easy for them. I hate the prevent defense, man. We got to stop that. Overall, let's look at the team stats, and then I'll get to your comments. Sorry, y'all. Let's see. So we held Scattaboo to, minimal yardage this game. He was the key to stopping this offense. We did really well with that. And I'm happy about that. So rushing held them to 2 yards per rush. Phenomenal. Penalties, 8 for 65. They had 9 for 88. So at least we committed less penalties. That was great. Time of possession, though, man, we lost. We were outgained by like 100 yards. But, man, we made plays when it matters. And that's really what it came down to. So credit for the offense for taking care of the football, working through, some of those ugly periods in the second quarter, third quarter a little bit, and then just finding our mojo. So appreciate y'all as always. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, if you want to ensure I read something, man, send me a super chat. It's always appreciated. What happened to Trevor? No idea. I think Big Dog mentioned that he was in a boot. So we'll just have to see. Oh, and I did have to say this, guys. My parlay hit, about, Nuggets win the championship and the Buffs winning 4 games or more. So 530 hit my account. That feels great. That'll make up for like the $80 of losses that I had on, everything that I bet this weekend. Which is so funny. Maybe I'm just better betting those long-term bets, right? But nonetheless, all this stuff is a lot of fun. And I'll keep some, to bet throughout the year. And then, I'll pocket the rest, man. Got to save up. It's expensive to live here in Colorado, right? Jeanette Fox, appreciate the love always. No one was Feely in the game. No, I want to see Feely just freaking kickoffs. 98, I can't remember his name. 2 kickoffs out of bounds, unacceptable. I'm done with it. Just kick the ball into the end zone every time, please. Let's see. Dave, there's in the motion with the nation. What? I don't know what that means. But Jake Quinn coming in here saying, Neely said we can't make ASU's quarterback look better than he is, and that's exactly what they did. I don't know if that was the defensive scheme or missed assignments, but they had options every down, basically. Good win, though. Yes, you're right on. And I think a lot of people don't realize that Bourget started, man, if not all, the majority, I think, of those games last year for them. So this is a guy that comes in with experience, and now he's had, a couple games to get familiar with, playing in this Kenny Dillingham offense. So it doesn't surprise me that we saw him take some steps against what has been, a weak defense this year. So I'm just happy that we got pressure and we made the plays when it really mattered. But, we made him look great. We made him look phenomenal, and but at the end of the day, I'm never going to apologize for a win, especially on the road. And yeah, I don't care how ugly it looks. This feels good to get a win, get to 4-2, baby. I don't give a crap right now about making a ranking or not. What matters is where we're ranked at the end, right? It'll take care of itself. But it was great to see special teams make some positive, impactful plays. We just got to eliminate the dumb stuff. We just got to eliminate the dumb stuff. Hey, want to give a shout out to Keck, our Arizona State fan that's always checking in. Man, you guys got to be impressed with Kenny Dillingham. He says, "Oh, Buffs, very fortunate to walk with a win. Next year, we are sticking a fork in that stupid Buffalo." Rude. But hey, I understand it. Let me get onto this tangent, man. Kenny Dillingham, he definitely outcoached Coach Prime and the rest of our staff in the first half, especially, man, with what he was doing with all of this motion. I hadn't really seen that much with the ASU like condensed game highlights and stuff like that I had watched, like all that pre-snap motion or anything. I didn't see a lot of that against USC when I remember watching that game. He did a great job of getting us uncomfortable, and the motion again leading to defensive coverage communication breakdowns and allowing them to make plays. But man, that first play where they scored on the QB sneak, where they spread everybody out, inexcusable that we were not lined up correctly. We didn't have two guys covering that line. They set up that way to see if they get a dumb look like that, to see if we know what we're doing. And I was happy that they shifted out of that every single time afterwards. But man, it's just Kenny Dillingham, man. The way that he coached the Sun Devils this game, you have to be proud of him because with having a third of the team or whatever injured, man, he had those guys ready to play. And I mean, they were within striking distance. The biggest thing for me was like, we cannot let Arizona State get that belief, man, that they belong with us, and typical CU game so far this year, we come out not doing anything in the first half. We allow them to take momentum into the second half. And then things, anything can happen like that. It doesn't matter how good or bad the team is coming into that matchup, man. If it's a close game at halftime, man, you're in a dogfight. That is for sure. I've always said, I thought that Kenny Dillingham was a fantastic hire for ASU. Absolutely right. They're headed in, the right direction. And I can't wait to see how they look with another recruiting cycle, having Dillingham, and hopefully this fan base and the alumni base gets the vision, sees what's possible. You guys have been close, man, in these last 2 games for sure, 2-3 games for sure. So appreciate you coming on, Keck. I'm sure you have to be at least somewhat happy, as an ASU fan. Because I know earlier on you were like, yeah, we'll probably get, killed or whatever. But man, like, hats off to ASU, and I would love to see ASU make some noise in the Big 12. Jeanette, love the game. It looked like a lot of people contribute to the win. Yes, absolutely. And, offensive line terrible in the first half. Again, I don't understand it, but credit to Sean Lewis, man, for getting this offense in a rhythm. It's just like, man, they don't come out with any urgency. Again, I didn't have an issue with those most of the play calls in the first half, but it's like we're just letting our line's just falling down immediately, or it's just sloppy stuff. Cheyenne coming in here. A win is a win. I really wanted to see us beat dogs for 4 quarters. Same here. Special teams, not special. Man, we got to protect too. Absolutely. We can't have them taking these hits. And it was good to see us play better in terms of protecting Shedeur in the second half. But again, there were still some miscommunications, like what led to that sack with their second to last offensive drive, which, if they kept driving, they put that game into a 2-score game, it's over. But, Van Wells snaps the ball before anybody else is ready, and it just leads to another sack. Like, there are so many of these things where we continue to shoot ourselves in the foot and make we beat ourselves in these games. And, if we're going to, our schedule's going to get tougher again, after this Stanford game. UCLA on the road. We got Oregon State. We got Arizona, which is not going to be a cakewalk. I think I said Oregon State, Wazoo on the road, and then Utah on the road. I'm probably missing one or two, but all that to say, we're going to be in every game. But in order to win out, which I think this team can do, you just got to play consistent. We got to eliminate the dumb stuff. But at the end of the day, we had more good stuff than dumb stuff, and that's why we won. Come here for the deepest analysis. Right? Galen coming in here saying that was stressful, need to be in Colorado right now. Oh man, and especially, man, when it's fourth down for Arizona State and their punter, had like a fractured foot or something like that, or one of them did. So they were going for it on offense half the time. But man, you don't know what Scadaboo's going to do. He can punt it, he can throw it, he can run it, he can catch it. But so, man, every freaking fourth down, man, I was having like a anxiety attack, man. Credit for Kenny Dillingham, man, just creating chaos. That is what that man did on the Arizona sideline for his team. That is for sure. That is absolutely for sure. Ryan Williams, we need studs on the O-line and D-line. Yes, 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 yes. That will be the focus in this recruiting cycle. That is for sure. God's spirit's real. Shador put the team on his back. Yes, yes, yes. He's our MVP. He will be a Heisman finalist, man. I think he will be at worst. Putting the team on his back. We don't get any of these wins without him. We always can depend on him in the clutch, man. He was so good today. And, man, y'all just enjoy this, man, because as a Colorado fan, as a Denver Broncos fan, man, I have not seen quarterback play like this for any of my teams in a long while. So y'all don't take this for granted. Yes, there's things that we got to improve. Yes, was this an ugly win? Yeah, sure. But I'm not going to apologize for anything, man. We're 4-2. We're 4-2. 9 months ago, people were telling me that it was an idiot for thinking that this team was going to win more than 3 games. Come on now. Hey, thank you so much, Paris. Again, it feels great to put money on the Buffs and, be rewarded for the belief, right? Cat coming in here saying, good luck the rest of the way, Buffs. Please kill Arizona. Man, that is my hope, man. If obviously we got to take care of the rest of our schedule, man, if we can get to the double-digit games, but we got to improve. We got to improve. There were some specific things I feel like that we improved with today. Again, run defense was fantastic. We didn't allow any big runs. And that's been something that we've allowed every single game, these big chunk runs that just change the game. We didn't allow any of that. Now, did the passing game at Arizona State have more success than I had anticipated? Oh, yeah. But we had to stop Scadaboo. We held him. We contained him. But, yeah, best of luck the rest of the way, Arizona State. In Keck, I will be rooting for y'all, man. Kenny Dillingham, he's an easy guy to root for. Again, he's also cool with Prime. They have a relationship prior to, this coaching matchup. He wanted to get Dillingham over to CU, but, Dillingham was just in that high demand that he's got his own gig. And it's going to be really cool to see what they do with Jane Rashada. And then, again, Buffs transfer, Jordan Tyson. It's going to be great to see how he performs once he's fully recovered and back from that ACL injury. So again, shout out. Want to give a shout out here really quick to my good friend Yo Martez, channel sponsor. Links in the description for all of your cool clothing needs. Use that promo code SCOBuffs for 10% off your order, including get yourself one of those Colorado Yo retro Ralphie tees. Again, links in the description. Y'all know Yo Martez has the coolest apparel. It's where it's at. And y'all be sure to hit that subscribe if you haven't yet. All right, I'm going to catch up here to the beginning of the chat. Let's see where we're going. Y'all go subscribe to Buff Since Birth right there in Arizona State. Sorry, buddy, I got to text you back, but hope you're doing so much better with work and everything. So we got the win. Not a great coach game in the end. No. The prevent defense. When does that ever work, man? When we put the pressure off, when all of a sudden we're giving guys 15 yards off the line of space, like it just, I will never understand it. And then we went man and we started holding them more in the red zone. But it's like by that point, it's like you've allowed them to get in such a rhythm, Eli says, don't think we're using our running backs to the best of their potential. I agree. Again, has any offensive coordinator ever called like a perfect game? Like maybe once in my life. I remember when like Peyton Manning had like 7 TDs against the Ravens the opening week. But that's Peyton Manning. He's checking into plays, whatnot. He's essentially the offensive coordinator. But no. What I have liked to see us open up that second half with Hankerson out there instead of Dylan Edwards. Yes, because Hankerson was our best runner, and we were running the ball really well, but we get into these rhythms, man, where we just open up our halves every single time, man, with, just passes, which is fine once we get into a rhythm, but we have trouble, man. We do so much better at pass blocking once we get the run game going a little bit. When we're opening up these drives with like 3 straight pass plays, y'all notice how those drives usually don't go anywhere? Well, Ryan Williams, man, 4 wins now, 2 wins away from a bowl game. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. We haven't won a bowl game since Joel Klatt was our quarterback at like 35 years old, right? 2004. Y'all know this by now. YouTube didn't exist. We're getting to that bowl game, and it's going to be a good bowl game. Hats off to the Buffs, man. Coach T, we are diving at tackles and not wrapping up. Man, especially in that first half. We did a better job in the second half, but you're totally right. I think our defense is better with Shiloh Sanders on the field, obviously. But he's got to set the tone, man, as the captain of that defense. Right now, especially, with Travis out, he has to set the tone. And when you got like your, one of your leaders, missing tackles that you should just wrap up, man, it doesn't help, man. It doesn't help the rest of the guys, Again, our defense is better with Shiloh out there, but we need more consistency. We need more consistency from everybody on defense, though. Am I right? Yeah. Mata will be the man on campus this week. Go Buffs. Man, that there were guys with ice in their veins, man. Shador, Mata, Javon Antonio. I'm so proud of Mata, man. And I mean, breaking your career long twice in one game and doing it a second time at the end of the fourth quarter to put your team up. I mean, that's greatness, man. Don't you love to see that? Like, forget about how we got in that moment, right? Remember how we got down the field, man? Remember how Shador took that shot? Javon Antonio was just killing them. He was just killing them on those slant routes. And then you know what? It opened up the over the top. Takes that for like a 50-yard gain. Got tackled by the turf monster. But man, everybody, it's clear that this team has such belief, man, in crunch time. When this offense has the ball, it's just so clear. And that's contagious. And Mott is taking that, man, kicking that. I they call the timeout and he makes it, as like that warm-up kick or whatever. It looks okay. But then he comes back and kicks it even better, man, after that. Like just a total, dart. Dart would have been good from like 53, man. It was great. But man, it just feels so good, man. It feels so good to get that fourth win, to get that first win in conference play, especially after we opened up against the two toughest teams in the conference right now. Well, I guess there's Washington too, but we don't play against Washington this year. Coach T, guys, these coaches know what the hell they're doing. If guys aren't playing, it's a reason. I will agree with you on that. Now, I will say, as a coaching staff, if we do not see improvement throughout the year when it comes to special teams, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. But we took a step in the positive direction today with at least making some of these clutch plays. But man, I would love it if special teams could just be a phase in the game that we know is always going to be a net positive. And it's just been so inconsistent, man. Our special teams I've never seen special teams this bad. And I watched our team go 1-11 last year. Something we got to clean up. But I want to say at least we blocked clean for all the field goals today. That was huge. No blocked punts. We're just committing stupid penalties or we're not kicking the ball well. Couple bad punts by Bassett. He had a couple of good ones, though. Some terrible kickoffs from Palazzo. Is that his name? 98, who was doing the kickoffs. I don't like it. We just have to get consistent on special teams. It is like a pet peeve of mine, man, when the third phase of the game is like this much of a I don't know. It's like a magic 8-ball. You're just shaking it, hoping that you get a good result. I feel like I'm gambling, every single time at the craps table or playing roulette, every time special teams is on the field right now. Cannot let that happen. I should not be wondering if I took my Alexa Pro when special teams is on the field. All right, let's see what else y'all got to say. James coming in here saying we can score enough, and at the end of the day, we had more points than our opponent. On the road. I'm never going to take a win for granted or apologize or be in a bad mood when we get a win. No. No, I'm not, man. Again, guys, especially in Big Dog's chat, it was like everybody was like, this guy sucks. Why is he not playing? This person might transfer. What? Guys, we're 4-2. We broke a 2-game losing streak. This is awesome. I'm $530 richer. Let's appreciate the moment. Exactly, Buff since birth. Exactly. And hopefully, man, we get one more game without Travis Hunter. Our team, obviously we know that there's a huge difference with this team when Travis plays versus doesn't. And I think we only got to go through this Stanford game without him, and then we'll get him back for UCLA. Again, UCLA, they're totally beatable. I think Dante Moore, we can do some things to take advantage of him being a true freshman starting quarterback. Washington State had him for a while, but man, they played great defense. They run the ball well. Number 13, Washington State went into there in Pasadena where there isn't a huge home crowd advantage or anything like that, and they lost. None of these games are going to be cakewalks, and having Travis back for that game is going to be crucial. I'm not expecting sy'veon Washington to be back. Hopefully, we can have Sy'veon Wilkerson back for that game because I don't think he played today as well. Man, please get Dylan on the apps outside. The up the middle runs never work. Yeah, I would like to see a little bit more of that and still utilizing him in the slot. We saw him split out, far wide a couple times, which was great because Dylan Edwards done that a lot in high school. Fantastic receiver. There were a couple screenplays, man, that I know Shador was facing a lot of pressure there at first, and they were kind of off target. But man, if those could have just been completed, I mean, Edwards is doing his thing like he did against TCU. We were just this close, we just got to put it together. 10-0 Arizona right now. Are they playing USC? Man, wouldn't that be something? They're playing USC in LA. But man, so happy for Alejandro Mata. He's awesome. Yeah, number one priority is fix that damn O-line. Lord. Yes, you are absolutely right, man. We were paper thin at that line in the first half. Shador's getting crushed, man, and this is just not sustainable. This is not sustainable. We might have to start thinking about having another guy in there just to freaking provide some max protect that's not a running back. Maybe Passarello or, shoot, like, I don't even care, man. And get a 6 offensive lineman in there lined up as tight end, man, just to provide. But it was not great. It was not great, especially in the first half. But it was good to see us improve, and again, show that resilience. And Shador played great in the second half, and I don't think it's a coincidence that we had some very timely run plays, and then the offensive line got him some time. And even if they were getting beat, the offensive line were pushing them away to where Shador could really utilize his legs, And Ron Williams, I was wondering this too, if maybe he kind of came back a little bit early from this kidney injury. There were some plays where, in my opinion, I felt like we've seen more speed from him on like getting to some of these guys and tackling them. There were a couple where I felt like he kind of let up, and alligator arm, the tackle, and then the guy went through, and it just happens. So we need him to be better. We need him to be better. Fangs coming out here saying, respect Amata, got replaced by Feely for a bit and didn't complain. Stayed patient and made the most of his opportunity. I love it. And these are the kinds of stories, man, that I just love. And again, when you got competition, at every position, it's going to bring the best out in everybody. And, I'm just so happy for him. I can't wait to see how this all, is talked about and it all unfolds in the season 2 of the Coach Prime documentary on Amazon Prime. Hopefully we get more episodes than like 4 or 5. Like, I want to see this thing as like a 10-part series. Like, let's get in the details. Let's go game by game. Watching the one last year, it kind of sucked that I feel like they skipped, so many important things. Yeah, Miss Yvette, bring up a great point here that somebody else did too. Now thinking about it, it's like, yeah, Shiloh probably wasn't playing 100%, off that kidney injury, and yeah, I think we'll see him play better this next week against Stanford, and we'll be at home, which will be awesome. Yeah, shouts out to Brendan Gant again, Florida State guy. I felt like he made some great plays for us. Again, I'll need to watch the replay to get kind of a more accurate assessment of everyone's performance, but it was nice to see him out there making some plays. And then, number 38. Ron Williams, right? Yeah, we put Vegas to shame, man. Like, we cannot lose perspective. Like sometimes, man, I feel like we just get so entitled and so greedy, just so quickly. And again, man, like, people weren't wrong with saying that this team's a work in progress this year. clearly is with all the mistakes and that we have made every single game. But people don't understand or did not understand really just how talented this team is, along with it being a work in progress. And that was still going to be the difference in getting us over the hump and getting some of these wins. All right. I'm going to go here for a little bit longer. So, again, let me know if there's anything specifically you want me to comment on. Of course, y'all, you can hit me up in the super chat. Again, man, 400 plus people in here. Be sure to hit that like. It's always really appreciated. Ome coming in here saying Cameron Silman Craig is injured. Yes. Man, I wonder if he like dislocated his shoulder because he was kind of running off the sideline. It looked like his arm was just dead, man. Hopefully he's okay and doesn't have to miss too much time. It's great that we got Slusher back. I know we saw some Jaden Milner Jones out there at the star position because he wasn't out there. True freshman from DeSoto, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I wanted to say South Oak Cliff, but no, DeSoto. And yeah, Rod Ward is really good, man. I'm really happy for Rod Ward. Played another solid game. And, this time, man, again, our defense is better with Shiloh and Rod Ward out there. Um, if I remember correctly, well, I think there was a coverage breakdown on Arizona State's second touchdown where they motioned a guy out to the left, and then we didn't have the handoff communicated correctly, and they're able to make a wide open throw. But outside of that, I felt like we did pretty good in terms of coverage breakdowns regarding the safeties. All right. What happened with Jawan Mitchell? Not totally sure. I'm going to need to read about that and listen to the press conferences. But I was surprised to see him not out there. Yeah, our O line, man, it sucked, man, because I felt like we had such a good game last week for the most part against USC, and just false starts, um, getting beat just right off the jump with certain things. Again, then it's got me thinking, like, man, some of these bigger guys, man, that are a little bit younger, some JUCO transfers, once they're up to speed, I would like to see them in there because, there are some guys that we could throw in there on that line that provide some more size and strength. It's just making sure that, with the offensive line, so much of it is communication, and it's something that's built over time. Oh man, I agree with you. Shiloh and Rod Ward are best safety duo right now. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would like to see Travis J at that star position. Um, if Cameron Silman Craig's going to miss some time, of course I like Miles Slusher in there, but Travis J, being at that kind of hybrid safety linebacker position, nickel position, I think that would suit him the best. But again, I'm just a guy in his bedroom here talking buffs. We'll see where the coaches put him. Ooh, God's Spirit coming in here. Cam came into the game with a bad shoulder. That is why he wore the yellow jersey during practice this week. Great insight, great call on that. So, man, I hope it wasn't re aggravated too bad. Patrice coming in here. Travis had an internal injury. Do you understand how important liver? Yeah, can't live without your liver, right? You can't fight through that. No, 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 no. I'm glad that the coaching staff has been like, no, you are not playing with that until that's completely healed. So, my hope is that he will be good to go for UCLA here in like 2 weeks. But again, we should not let him play until he is 100%. No doubt. Where was Woods? I don't know. I think he might have been hurt. We'll see. Reggie Young needs to step up. Yeah, he had a little bit tougher of a time. And credit to the Arizona State defense. They kept saying in the broadcast that they're the third ranked team against the pass in the conference. And I didn't know that. I really underestimated this secondary and that, they played really well. This Arizona State defense kept, their team in it. That is for sure. Oh gosh. Alexandre Esposito, thank you so much for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. Shiloh Woods, number 98, and the whole O line need to go. Oh man, I'm not gonna say anybody needs to go, but we got to see some improvement happen from this team in all the phases of the game. Um, Again, Shiloh is a little hurt, but yeah, we can't have kicks go out of bounds. We have to have more consistent play from the O line. This is going to be something with all the phases, offense, defense, and special teams. It is going to be a continual work in progress this year. But my hope is that we see one of these games here soon. I was hoping it was this week where we'd see this team turn the corner and play, a full complete game of 4 quarters where we come out with that urgency, where we come out and we're physically dominating like we dominated, these lines in the second half. We have to do that in the first half. It's going to be a work in progress. This team is not perfect. But I do think, given another recruiting cycle, there are not going to be any glaring weaknesses with this team. That's why my expectations for this team, it's like college football playoff, at minimum next year. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Alexandre. I appreciate it. All right. Going to go for a few more minutes here. Eli, so we need a new team. Nah, we don't need a new team. We got to give these guys, they're here, man. So we got to give them, opportunity. We don't have free agency, man. So we got to see them improve this year, right? And we've seen them have their moments. Again, we've seen the O line have their moments. Like, in my opinion, this is not a terrible O line, but to help an average O line excel and do better, you have to be very intentional, man, with some of this run game stuff. Sometimes we get away from it. Sometimes we don't open up with it, and it does not, or it's like the wrong run play. Obviously hindsight's 2020. It's easy for me to criticize the plays that were made in the past, didn't work out. But it's not a coincidence that when Hankerson's running the ball, man, the O-line's doing a good job of getting him, space to run. And then all of a sudden, man, the O-line's finding confidence. When you help bust out a 15-yard run, you're feeling yourself, right? You got that mental edge. And then, man, the passing, the play action is so impactful, and it's so important specifically for Shedeur. He has his highest success rates passing the ball this year when it's off play action. It is so crucial. So it's just important that we don't get away from it. When we open up with a bunch of pass plays, yada, 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 it's fun. It's cool. Sometimes it works, but it doesn't really do the O-line much favors. And Sco Buffs Daily coming up here with a great point. Credit to Coach Mo. I think we played better in the second half because we are in better shape than the other team. They slow down, we keep going. Facts. This team is better conditioned. And you saw that in someone else's house tonight, Arizona State in the heat. Arizona State faded, man, in that second half. Did you see, our defensive line wasn't getting any pressure in that first half. Granted, they still were stopping the run. So credit to them for doing that. But we weren't getting any pressure on ASU when they were passing. And then in the second half, man, and then in the fourth quarter, aside from when we went to prevent defense, man, we just beat ourselves when we changed the way we're attacking. But when we were attacking, man, we were dominating that defensive line. Dominating that offensive line. Credit to Coach Mo. This team is fantastically conditioned, and the altitude's an advantage. Great insight. Ghost Dog, you're totally right. The offensive line, we have to do a better job of protecting Shador. And that's why I would like to see us incorporate more run. Let me get to the run and pass play ratio. Again, it was 50-50 last week. Shador didn't take a lot of hits last week. And that's not a coincidence. When you're running the ball that much, oh my God, open. All right, 42 attempts passing to 30 rushing attempts. So not great. You would like to see that a little bit better. 30 by 72. Yeah, so 41% of our plays, 42% of our plays were run. And we had more success when we were running the ball a little bit more against USC, right? Hey, y'all go subscribe to Buff Since Birth, man. Hopefully, I can get you on the show this week. I'll be sure to text you this weekend. Have dinner, enjoy it with your family, have a hell of a time. Enjoy this win, man. This is awesome. This is awesome. We played the best when the moment mattered the most. We had got to step up, man. We had got to step up. The defense played good, man. The defense played good. Our special teams did no favors with some of this field position that our defense was put in to start off the bat. It is what it is. Oh, how it has to be. Thank you. I gave this player a shout out on my post game with Big Dog a bit ago, but forgot that I didn't mention him on this broadcast. Omari Cooper, man, he was fantastic, and especially for some of y'all really ragging on him against, with Caleb Williams just completing some pinpoint darts against him last week. Provide good coverage, man, for most of the time. He had a great game. A couple pass deflections, batting the ball, out of the red zone, coming up with some sure tackling. I think he knocked Scadaboo out of the game for a while, man. He's been fantastic. He has been fantastic. And I think Cormani McClain had a couple of those early crossers completed against him. That's more of a coverage thing. He had one completed against him on the sideline. Overall, I feel like our secondary did a great job. Again, sometimes we did a good job, not a great job. Sometimes when we're not getting pressure, man, they can't defend these wide receivers for 10 seconds, right? And Bourgeois was holding the ball. So, yeah, but Omari and Cooper, man, had a fantastic game. He should be very happy and pleased with his performance today. I coached you. David, let's talk about sharing those newfound riches. Pony up play. Right, man. I need to figure out some creative giveaway to do on the channel this year. I'm gonna pocket some of it. Some of it will go to paying for my my Nuggets partial season ticket package this year, which would be a lot of fun. I'll put some of it towards this channel, and then put some of it towards gambling for the rest of the year. So it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll see how it goes. But it feels great to, just prove Vegas wrong, man. If any of these Vegas experts took 30 minutes to actually look at the guys coming out in this team instead of just looking at their stupid ass computers predicting shit that their computers and algorithms had no idea how to evaluate this team, because we haven't really seen teams be rebuilt like this. A bunch of guys coming over from FCS that probably wouldn't have been playing FCS if Coach Prime wasn't there at really key positions, combined with everybody else, Xavier Weaver, Jimmy Horn, really talented guys, but at poor quarterback play, so they didn't put up a bunch of stats. There are a lot of cases like that with a lot of the guys coming in. So they lack production, but then you turn on the tape and see wow, they got talent. And this is at most of the positions. The question marks in the areas, the position areas that weren't the strengths. I mean, or had question marks. I mean, we knew that, man. But a lot of people that weren't following this team did not understand that we had big time talent, at a lot of these skill positions, and it was going to put us over the top. And the biggest factor was the fact that we have a top 3 quarterback in college football right now. Yeah, likely the first round, the first overall pick in in the 2025 NFL draft. Vegas didn't get that right, and it feels good to be one that understood that. Don't just listen to what you hear. Do your own research, right? All right, guys. Really appreciate you as always. Man, this was so much fun. It feels great. It feels great to get this win. It felt great to hop on with Big Dog Chico, right after the game. And thank you to anybody that came over, from his channel to watch my post game today. I'm making Buffs content every day as well, and just having a ton of fun out here, in Colorado. It really means a lot. I mean, I can't wait to go back and watch this game. Yes, there were plays that made me want to pull my hair out, but there were also so many plays in this game that I got to cheer on, man. We had a lot of guys step up. Again, one of my guys, my 5 sleepers coming into this year, Javon Antonio, man, he was clutch for us in the fourth quarter. It was great to see him show up and show out. Again, Hankerson, a holdover from last year, really getting more of a run. Shador, of course, playing out of his mind. And, I've highlighted some of the other guys. Omari Cooper, a guy that was wrongfully overly criticized last week, stepping up and making some plays, and never going to apologize for getting a road win. Never. Going to feel good about this. This cements us as officially exceeding the expectations from so many people, from all the quote unquote experts that had no time to actually research this team. Because we've been able to see, man, the people in the media, the people on YouTube or whatever that took the time, even if it was just an hour or two in the offseason to research who's coming in here, what this staff was looking like. We knew this was much better than a 3-win team, no doubt. And, we're 10-2 until we ain't, right? It's time to handle business, and hopefully we can see this team continue to turn a corner next week. So, thank you so much. I'll end with this. Go check out Big Dog Chico's interview with Mata's parents. Thank you, Adam Hurley, for bringing that up, man. Fantastic what he's doing over there, and I'm very honored that he asked me to partner with him on his channel, throughout the season. It means a lot. He's somebody that I look up to a lot, and he's been giving me great advice on how to grow my own channel. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy this win. Enjoy the rest of, the college football evening, the NFL games tomorrow. And, I'll be back talking Buffs tomorrow morning as well. So y'all be sure to hit that like on the way out. Let me know where you're watching from and what your thoughts were on the game. Again, I don't respond to every comment, since my channel's kind of blew up, but I do read them. So I do at least see them, when they come through. So appreciate your time as always, everybody. Just a great day in Buffs Nation. So as always, go Buffs.